Did you know it takes about 2 seconds to subscribe and like a Waffles Maple Syrup video? Did you know it also takes about 5 seconds to go and visit their Ko-fi? It's pretty easy. I'm just saying.
Welcome to this episode of Outcast and Outclassed. Now, we practiced this. We did. Fanfare.
It's been 2 weeks and we didn't practice anything.
No, I think we would have had it if... Never mind.
Hooray!
No notes. Never mind.
Never
I'm not
mind.
even...
No notes.
No notes.
I love this so much. And for everybody that is now joining us on the VOD or the podcast, welcome to what is happening today. And it is a shit show in the best way. So here we go. First, hoof indeed, Waffles. I heard that. All right. We have a couple quick announcements. Oh, yes. A lot of this beautiful cast, some of this beautiful cast, is on quite so many Big Bad Con panels. Big Bad Con is coming up. It's hanging out in San Francisco at the end of September. And if you may be there or around, I believe tickets are not just on sale, but soon to be maybe sold out. So grab those tickets while they're still there, and then go sign up for some cool panels that we're on. So go check them out. We've been posting them on the socials. I would love to see you there. I'm so very excited about some of the panels that I get to be on, and I'm sure everybody else here is as well. So do that. Go check it out.
Nope.
And say hi to the award-winning cast. What else? I think that's actually most of our announcements for today. So I think we should head on over to some sponsors. What do y'all think?
Sure.
Dude, let's go.
Yes, in fact, we have 2 sponsors. You've heard them already before. Crafty Gamer makes candles. My brain stops in the middle of that sentence, but the Crafty Gamer never stops bringing you quality content. And by content, I mean merchandise. Merchandise such as candles.
My brain often stops when I smell the amazing smells of their candles too. It's hard to
yeah,
to
you two can.
You two can just stop short and be like,
you two can stop your brain.
Yeah. You too. With one quick whiff, your brain can be transported to a brand new place. Using their candles. Also, check out their Kickstarter. Also, check out everything on their stores. Go see their in-person store as well. Or go to craftygamer.com. There's a fantastic discount code you can use as well. Waffles Maple. Do it.
The amazing folks I'm sorry to interrupt, but the amazing folks at the Crafty Gamer are really kind, really wonderful people.
Good.
And
They're great.
so sorry for that.
We're so sorry.
I also really want to clip this and just send it to them too.
It's great. You know who else is great? Eldritch Osiris Games, our second sponsor for this show. Eldritch Osiris is the first ttrpg co-op in history. What does that mean? It means that they take a bunch of people who are writing a bunch of cool things and they say, we're going to help you make your cool thing bigger, better, and available to a lot of people. How do I know this? Because I also did it. There's a cool thing called Mercraig's Trove of Spears. I don't remember the full title of it. This is fine. Goblin Society Games partnered with Eldritch Osiris to release the first part of our magic item book into Pathfinder2e. They have a ton of Pathfinder2e stuff. So go check out my stuff, but also go check out all of their stuff. It's all very, very good. Go support a bunch of artists on EldritchOsirisGames.com.
It's beautiful. Flawless.
Thank you.
We're getting it out now.
Award-winning
TTRPG show.
This energy is award-winning, bitches.
You're damn right it is. Let's fucking go.
Somehow
people enjoy this.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. I love it so. Okay. Waffles. I just want to cue you up here. I'm not crying and laughing. You are. With that, I suppose, well, I guess we'll have to see you in class. I guess.
We're going.
I'm just posing. Hey, what's up?
Posing without saying anything. We're muted.
America's Next Top Model.
Are we muted? Are we muted? Can you hear me? Is anyone out there?
Say something
Is
really
anybody-
bad and I'll let you know.
Okay. Bleep.
Oh.
It was auto filtered.
I know we're not muted
I
because
see.
it's auto-filtered.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And now we're having too much fun because the dogs here are like, "Hi, mom. You seem to be laughing." Thank you.
Hear me out though. Anytime I hear people go now, like all I can think of is Baldur's Gate short rest.
Yup. So true.
That is true. That is very true.
That's all.
But hold on. The time for chit chat and small talk passed already. We're in here. It says post intro video. Although we will talk Baldur's Gate 3 for plenty of time, but that's for later. So we'll start things off a little bit differently. Because you know what? It's been a while since we started off with like reading a little story, a little something. That'll hopefully bring us all in here because last time we left off, we had some deep discussions. We had some discussions about the meaning of friendship, the definition of friendship. We had secrets revealed. We had heart-to-hearts. And we had some updates with Janatimo about the status of the Anati, which then, by complete surprise, as everybody left and Arc 2 requested some time alone with the hot teacher, we found that... Sorry, I'm just have to like little interspersed fanfic, just
Hottie
edit,
teacher
fine.
face.
And we did a callback to a little scroll that was handed to one Arc 2. That sounds funny, one Arc 2. Back during some of these one-on-one sessions, which was revealed. Now, this was something that I did not reveal to you, the audience, and I would like to give you a little bit of a taste, as over time, I am sure Arc 2 will be reading this very same letter. So whether we do it all or a little bit, we'll find out, but here's a little taste of what we learned and what Arc 2 will have learned once he's read this scroll. A little chat about runes by Queen Sorshan. It was really only a matter of time before the visual manifestations of magic became a source of curiosity to those who practiced the art. Emperor Zin was one of the first. He'd learned much of his theories from dragons, gods, and beings from beyond our own plane of existence, but we should have hardly let that get in the way of a good narrative. Zin theorized that the symbols that appeared when his spell was cast were a hint to the inner workings of magic. They were the alphabet, to the language of creation, and if he were to learn the grammar and structure behind the words, he could unlock and rewrite the entirety of reality. These letters were named runes. They're heady things, these runes. Much as an oracle burns at the touch of the divine without a god to serve as an intermediary, so does a wizard burn to touch the absolute building blocks of the cosmos. In our case, they came out not with a curse, but with a powerful surge of sensation, easily confused with emotion. Our emotions, in turn, could empower these runes even further when we used them again. Poor dear Zin, he called these feelings virtues when he labeled them. I think he must have been cast from a different mold than the rest of us. Those who did not share his idealism instead found it easier to conflate these feelings with the powerful urges of vice. Over time, this cycle of emotion created a loop of habit. Well, no. I think perhaps addiction may be a better word for it. I cannot speak to the experiences of others, but no one who hasn't used a rune can understand the rush I felt to hold such power in the palm of my hands. In the end, we began to specialize in specific runes, not due to an intellectual decision to do so, but because we were trapped, bound by our favored sins. Thus did Zin's runes become known as sin magic. Thus did the practitioners of that magic come to believe that in order to use this language, they must debase themselves in depravity. Such misunderstandings will always prove popular, the same as any excuse to drink, love, and hoard to excess. Still, I owe Zin a debt of gratitude, and his life's work does not deserve to be used by only the worst among us. Unlike Zin, I have lived long enough to learn of the perils of rune magic, as well as the need to better help others avoid them. Or find them, if they prefer. I can say from experience, however, that the fun of iniquity fades in time. Won't you listen to me more than we did to our dear departed Zin? And that is where we will pause, because the next step is the basics of rune magic. And I know this looks terribly boring, darlings, but I promise to make it worth your while. We'll get there next time.
Tease, tease, tease.
Unless you want a little bit more, I'll let you decide.
After
Yeah, I listen. I think it's
You
great.
want more? You want more? Want more? After break?
Yes.
After break?
I want an after break.
No.
Give him something to remember you by.
All right. Let's say that is about how much Arc 2 has read between his classes.
Yeah.
As you all meet back up at the Sprout House in, let's say, early mid-afternoon. I'll turn it over to you all.
So we were meeting up to go to the city to talk to people about the Griffons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the
So
plan.
step 2 of the request
Yes.
from Genetimo is investigate the Griffons and where they came from. So the couple considerations for this. This is a reminder to all of us because timey-wimey is complicated. Since you talked to Genetimo and you spent the night and originally and went to the storage room, I'm going to say it was not just one day. I'm going to say there's been a couple classes, you did some research. This is a amalgamation of a couple days have passed before you eventually addressed the storage facility and found where the Anadis were. After this, we've seen this is somewhat closer to the following day, perhaps, 2 days, it doesn't quite matter. Before this now comes together for your first jaunt to go explore and learn about the Griffons. The consideration is that I don't want to have to kind of like, okay, this is all you get done today. Now go back to bed and now start over. So we will let these investigations proceed however you all deem fit. And know that all of this does not have to happen on one day. We'll simply say that, you've been going to classes and between and other times and things like that, you'll be coming in and out of the city doing whatever research you need. So timey-wimey, we'll do our best. And if there's any confusion, I'm happy to clarify. But this is the beginning of your search for more information about the Griffons.
And we're met up at the Sprout House now.
Correct.
Probably in between some ongoing conversation, Art kind of maybe interjects if he has to, but more so pulls Hideaki to the side and says, "Did you have you ever learned about weapons and runes?"
I don't think so. I've sort of heard about it, but I haven't really gone into any particular detail.
Right. I figured you would have used the other one by now. If you
What do you
didn't know. Well, and he kind of takes his halberd out and shows you this rune that's etched onto the staff of it. This is the rune that was part of the pickaxe.
Right.
And they can be removed and placed in other places.
I did remember you saying something about that.
Usually weapon to weapon, but if you had cloth for your hand or some gloves or something, I'm sure that you could inscribe a rune and make those powerful. I do not know how Eidolons work with that though, if he gets your power or not.
That would be something really, really cool for us to experiment with.
I agree.
Who has the rune that was picked up in the storage facility?
That'd be me.
Okay.
All right, well, I guess you said the striking stone?
Striking
Yes.
one.
I have that.
That is correct.
If I remember correctly, it is just a striking, not a +1 striking.
Correct.
I believe so.
Yeah. Because I would certainly love, in case of, now that we are back on our regularly scheduled near-death experience train, to be as most prepared as possible for things to go awry. So any sort of upgrade for that sounds like a good investment over time.
I agree. I do think you need to be stronger.
Are you saying that because, from your perspective, I'm not holding up my end of the bargain?
No.
So you are
Saying
happy
that
with
you-
my performance?
I'm not happy with it.
So then how are you feeling about it then? If you do have an opinion on it, I suppose.
I have no opinion. I'm indifferent. It's not important to me.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. Glad that we're on the same page.
Me too.
Tal and Arifey, are you here for this, or are you kind of like walking in? Where are y'all?
I feel like I'm listening at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting, if there's like a step or like the front stoop of the door into the sprout house, like that's where I've been sitting, maybe, probably just like petting Nim, honestly, and just watching the two of them talk curiously, but also amused.
Yes, excellent. I saw really quick, not to jump straight back and ruin anything, but I saw, Maria, something you mentioned in chat about what I read earlier. Would you like to say that out loud for me and for the class?
Yes. So consider with me if you shall, if you will, if you wish to. Runes are powered by an excess outpouring of emotion. An emotional high typically is given to the detriment of the wielder, usually. What happens then when someone who does not feel such emotional highs interact with and potentially master runes?
It's a good question. I like that question. I like that question so much.
So
But
much.
I'm gonna say you get a hero point because it's a good
Hooray!
question to ask.
And also the opposite, right? Like for someone that experiences very emotional highs.
Yeah, how quick do they burn out?
I suppose
Which
we'll have
one
to
is
learn a
the
little bit more
wild
about
magic?
runes for that, which we'll get to in a little bit. But anyways, back to it. All right, so this conversation, this exchange occurs. I was also getting questions in chat about, or in our private chat about gold. So I did want to just bring that up because you know what? I'm going to say that it's been about a month. Makes sense to me. Another month has passed in school. So all of you from your, from the powder pile, happily, oh my god, blanking on name. Hold on.
Zokon.
Zokon?
No. Benji.
Love the Benji. Should be here
Skipping
somewhere.
in to the room with you all, having secured her new role as an assistant at the powder pile.
Is she flea free now?
She is,
Nice.
with 2 additional charmed bracelets that she wears to deter. You realize at the time 1 wasn't enough, so you have 2 on her to help deter some of those fleas.
Cat collars.
And so she comes and skips over and says, "You didn't I don't remember what. No, that's not her voice.
She has
lazily,
like a
very
Lazily,
lazily.
yeah. There you go. You found it.
Yeah, you got it.
That's beautiful.
Everyone's got one.
You did pick up your buddy for this month yet, so I promised God that I would make sure each of you get exactly 4 gold for the month. So here you go. And she takes
nice.
out 4 different pouches, which she has written like each of your names on it with like a little poor spelling, best guess, like sounding out. And it easily this all will fit in one pouch. But
I have to
she
know how
instead
badly.
how badly she spells your name. It's it's HEDEEYAKEE. It's
No
all
I.
E's. There's not a
Wow.
single I.
Perfect.
But with that, this 4 gold would have easily fit all together in one, but she has these all labeled out separately and hands them each to you. And she goes, and if he asks, I gave you each your 4.
Thank you, Bidgie. Appreciate it.
Benji.
Go.
That's exactly what
And
happened.
just heads off to her room. So you have your new allotment of gold for the month.
And a
4
pouch.
gold? For some reason, I thought it was 40.
No, we
at the
got
very
40 when we
beginning.
started.
Yes,
Yeah.
you got a lump sum, and now you get 4 gold every month.
Did we get 4
So
gold
apparently I
for
had-
all of last year?
I've done last year already.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I had apparently 15 gold left over because I never spend it on anything. So I have some.
I will say, actually, no, that's because you bought all the furniture for this problem.
I have 4 gold.
What? That's not what I said at all.
I didn't say anything.
I said
That's
nothing.
so
Goodness, I have 4 gold.
Wow, what
I
do you
remember
know?
very distinctly, you're like, I'm spending everything on this.
You're right. How could I have forgotten?
So much. Okay, excellent. There you go. Ask and you shall receive. Waffles.
Nice.
Perfect.
I have enough
Nailed it.
gold done.
I mean, we
Buy
have
nothing.
teeth to sell.
We do have technically teeth. We've been doing some inventory management, everyone.
We have.
There's a few
I
things
love
we
it.
have.
I have like 42 gold worth of stuff in my bag that we could sell.
Jeez. Well.
Wow.
I mean,
We
if
have a
it's,
bearskin rug in
Different
there.
sessions.
if it's just useless
But
stuff that has... If
Well,
it's
it ties
just
the room
useless stuff
together.
that has a gold value, then let's just snap our fingers, say we sell it, and have a 42
Yep.
Split
gold
part.
gold.
Pot.
You're welcome to do
Yeah,
that.
I'm
yes.
fine
Okay.
with group
Okay,
gold.
great.
Like we each
Uh,
have
but
our
I do-
4, and then
Before
we
you
have
do that, I
Okay.
do need to know, though, is the bearskin rug being sold or being, expertly
Hideaki
kept to the Sprout House?
Would 100% would love it to be in the Sprout House. That's his vote.
We could put it in the Sprout House, but we also, would you like to put the bearskin rug or the taxidermied bird that I have?
Wait! No, that bird is a magical thing.
The
that's
beak
has
is.
the beak is.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that
Do you
the
have the
beak
whole
went
bird or
with
do you
the
just have the
bird.
beak?
I think we have both.
Okay. The beak,
Oh,
real magical special. The bird without a beak, no, it's just a taxidermy.
so
sounds
it's
hilarious.
just a bird
No
minus
beak.
a beak.
No beak.
It's just
Yeah,
a
Toucan
that's
Sam, no beak.
terrifying.
It's
Okay.
really like
No beak.
trigger warning. I'm so sorry.
But like,
Bury
it,
it with
like,
Richard.
well, you know what we should do? We should set it outside like a lawn gnome.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
Okay, so we have
Wow!
Might scare away any of the pigwampies that are around.
That's very true.
Revenge.
We have a taxidermied beakless bird sitting at the front door. We have a bearskin rug sitting in the center, and I'm about to go sell 4 teeth. Sorry, 4 teeth. Or get
teeth.
some money.
Inventory management really does a number
Pathfinder.
on
Yeah.
your
Yes.
imagination.
Look, every once in a
Did
while I look down
I-
my inventory, I'm like, are we serial killers? Like, are we the baddies? Like, what are we?
The problem.
Question.
Just a horde.
Because it is a day in which we didn't cast any spells or do anything earlier, did we?
Oh, we just like woke up.
This is a new day. Okay, cool. Because I
will say that you have you knew that you wanted to head out into the city for investigation purposes today.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. This lump of amber that I have,
Oh, yeah.
I have detect magic. Could I, while the tall folk were talking, have
Mhm.
done
Oh,
a
that's
little
us.
detect magic on that? While, potentially
Absolutely.
Arifey was doing some
I'm watching this interaction.
organization
between
of
these
like
two.
this is the to-go pile and this is the donate pile.
You just see me take this bird outside, just slam it in the ground, like it stands.
Mostly I want to see if it is magical, then we won't sell it. If it isn't and it's just a big lump of stuff, then I'll consider maybe selling it instead of maybe putting it in my room as a really cool rock.
Understood. Remind me what this is, though, if you can.
This is a large amber chunk. It is priced at 30 gold pieces. Where did I find it?
You know,
Nobody knows.
It's probably
I
just
saw
a
my
chunk
note
of
on it
amber.
earlier.
If I gave you a gold value,
Uh,
it is likely just you can sell it.
Okay.
All right, hear me out though.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
we found it in stone.
I have this ring in my pocket.
You do have the
Ah,
ruby
yes.
ring, yeah.
Yes, you do.
I think we have failed in the past for trying to see what it does, and I would like to see what it does.
Absolutely. With enough time to look at this, I will put it in here for you as you realize that it is indeed magical. And it is a ring of acid resistance.
Ooh.
Oh shoot!
That's helpful.
And
I remember where I got the amber. Whenever you're done.
Excellent. When it's gold, you're good. And then with this ring of amber resistance is what my brain wanted to say. Just put them together. You are
Not
resistant
become
to
a
this
fossil.
one chunk of amber. It cannot
Yeah.
hurt you.
What do you think of Jurassic
It
Park?
can't hurt you, I promise.
Excuse me, Amber. We can't talk right now. I'm resistant.
Sorry, Amber.
Sorry, everybody named Amber in this world sheds a single
You have to
tear.
see other people.
But this ring of acid resistance, which I gave you in roll 20, is just to put it into perspective. You did pick this up on the table with the experiments, and it does lead you to believe that this must have been utilized in the experiments in some way.
Okay. So they were doing acid. In
You're
the
just
basement.
dropping acid.
Just dropping acid.
That's the takeaway. Amazing.
Yep. That's the
Nice.
takeaway.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
I found the amber on the table with the underground before we got to Stone Ghost. There
Yes,
was-
in
when-
the
when
war, quote
Ark-
unquote war room with the gremlins.
Yeah, when Ark absolutely decapitated 2 people with a coin.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It
Confirmed,
was a
was there.
paperweight.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Great. So then I will hand it to Arifey, who eventually goes when we go to sell things, and say, "Here's 30 more golds of amber."
Perfect.
I'm gonna
There
put
you
the, I'm gonna put the ring on
Okay.
because I'm eventually gonna get in a fight with Hideaki, and he's gonna try to kill me with acid.
That is true. It is an
Spoilers.
anti-Hideaki.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
sorry.
Kentucky.
That part of the script's already written. My bad.
It's okay. It's for stars notes. It's good.
Okay, kids. Y'all are here and you've
Yep.
done some inventory management
Oh my
and you've
God.
I got
gathered
this.
your shit to sell. What's happening?
Arifey.
Yes.
So, thinking about sort of our strategy, and tell if you're around. This is not like a private conversation or anything like that. So I was thinking, we look for the more populated areas of folks. We could start out by maybe just having conversations with folks, and then sort of compare that with maybe if we can find out where some of the Tempest Sun Mages folks hang out. We could chat with them, and also maybe even get a little extra credit for our classes. Hint, hint. By getting a little further ahead, so it's a win-win-win-win-win-win situation. That's it. That's the wrong word.
No, I
Um,
think that sounds correct. And I'm blanking on the name of the teacher who's in charge of the Tempest Sun Mages.
Iowari?
Tichariwari. Correct.
That
Yep.
sounds right. I
Fucking
can only think of
nailed it.
Ulawa because she doesn't like us.
Wah.
Wah. And I will say he is. Let me triple check that. I don't. He might not be.
Is
the
he out of
head
town? He's
the
always out of town.
Tempest Sun. No. He's
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
Tichariwari is in the Tempest Sun Mages. That he might not be leading it, but I'll check that
Got
for you
it.
in a second.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I know he was in the group when we were learning about the houses.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we
At least
could
that's my
always,
2 cents.
we could start with him to see if we could maybe figure out where the Tempest Sun Mages are. To kind of
That's
go
a
down
good
that
idea.
pathway.
Sure.
Is there a reason we're seeking the Tempest Sun Mages?
Yeah, I don't know how they would have more information than, well, anyone else in the school.
Well, it's not necessarily in the school, but if there are any Tempest Sun Mages in the city, if folks have reported incidents, wouldn't they report it to them? Like if there's weird, not just birds, but other flora and fauna and strangeness, wouldn't they be a good place for us to start?
Isn't there like
So-
also a city guard though?
Is that the War Callers?
You have they're called chime ringers.
Chime Ringer, excuse me.
We have a chime called the War Caller though.
The War Caller.
Yeah,
is-
Yes,
Yes,
sure.
that's
War
the
Caller's
chime
chime
that
of
y'all have.
destruction.
Yes.
And a quick Jacob clarification, because maybe I'm mixing the chime folks and the Tempest Sun Mages folks, but I thought there was a contingent of Tempest Sun Mages folks in the city because they're who are protecting the city.
Okay, so the way it works is the Tempest Sun Mages are part of the Magaambya. They are
Yeah.
like if any of y'all were Tempest Sun Mages, like branch
Well, yeah, me and
majors,
Arifey are.
then you
Oh,
would
majors, right, okay.
be considered a Tempest Sun Mage, and then
Mhm.
everybody who's on campus has there is this thing that you know about the Tempest Sun Mage is that being a full-on Tempest Sun Mage does commit you a little bit to the protection of the city, and therefore does limit your ability to like go off to the world whenever you want to. However, the Tempest Sun Mages are like the army. They're not the, even though I hate this analogy, they're not the day-to-day people on the streets of
Got it.
Nantambu.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
and that
I
is the like the
misinterpreted.
volunteers of the city of Nantambu
Mhm.
are the chime ringers who
Okay.
help with security and safety.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
And
Okay.
so maybe we could check with the Chime Ringers too.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not necessarily know what happened that day, but they could have seen where they came into the city from.
Well, we
Sure.
found one of their chimes too. Maybe they are missing a chime or a person.
It's a good icebreaker. Get them to talk to us.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Awesome.
And let's just, for everybody's sake, recap. What do you currently know about the Griffons?
We know they flew into the school.
Mm-hmm. There was some
Uh,
previous checks done, so I just kind of want to refresh everybody. And I could just recap it for y'all if you would like, if that's easier.
For some
They s-
reason,
Mhm.
I thought and feel free to tell me I'm wrong, GM, but for some reason I thought we knew that they seemed kind of like, I can't think of the right word, civilized, like
Yeah, like domesticated.
domestic, yeah.
They also didn't they look like okay, so
Hungry.
yeah. We also did kill Tao killed one of them.
Yeah, you did.
So
While you were
we
flying
could-
on it.
It was kind of
So we could see if that is still around. Maybe? Or if it was just do we know if it was like disposed of?
it would likely have been disposed of.
Okay.
It's been a few
Um,
days.
It's been a couple weeks.
That's true.
However,
Time doesn't make sense.
This is the thing. So Griffons, the way you are familiar with Griffons, are. Oh God, I'm trying to remember. Griffons
They're like a
bird
bird
heads,
head,
lion body,
wing.
correct?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
one was
you-
a black bird head, leopard body.
Yes. So
wrote it
this
down.
one did not look like a typical griffin. This seemed pretty unique in style. It was more like a leopard printed body, and it was more like a sparrow head than like an eagle head. So
And they seem to specifically be going after the Anati.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
we're called the Anati focus.
exactly. Excellent. So with their unique plumage and colorations, they're somewhat. You knew that. I think the check was that they don't typically fly into society places. That
Yeah,
was
this
the
was
rule of them, and
very
they seemed to
out of
be
character. Yeah.
going towards the Anadi. Well, all of that is very curious. And so you review your notes together before heading out in search and question of some information about the Griffons. So, with that, you all make your way out of the Sprout House, cross one of the many bridges into Nantambu proper, in which I now bring you to the larger Nantambu map, as opposed to just the Magaambya. And I ask, where do you first head to? And is it, I suppose, to find some chime ringers?
I think that's the best place to start, at the very least, to be like, "Hey, are you missing a person?
Mhm.
Are you missing some chimes?"
Yeah. Like, I think, because Hideaki's sort of, because, don't get me wrong, super still down for all of that, but also, like, that, and then sort of the blast radius above that is, like, where, like, there's, like, a lot of people, like, the, I forgot the name of the shopping center that we all met up at. Like, that would probably be a good place for us to start.
The market?
Yeah.
The whatchamacallit?
Mhm.
Oh,
Whatever
the
you're about to say,
wandering
yes.
market. Yeah.
So the wandering market might take a little bit of time to find, though you could absolutely try to.
Can I just keep my ears out for it while we're going around the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Look at this teamwork.
If we don't,
I think
well,
I
Oh
lost.
no.
Oh, I think you're back,
what?
Maria.
The internet,
for a
it is not
Oh.
liking you.
We
I
dropped you for
didn't-
just a second.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you're good
lose
now.
you all at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
how
back.
odd.
Yeah, you're good now.
Strange.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with some gathering of information. Seems that we have lookouts to. Let's treat this a little bit like the exploration mode. We'll be a little bit
That sounds
funky
right.
with it. But with exploration mode, I would like you each to choose sort of action or choice to do, and I will tell you what role or whatnot that will be. So tell Yatya, as you are walking around with this crew, you are keeping your eyes and ears out for signs of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's make that. I'll let that be either society in any way or perception.
I'm gonna go with perception because I got big ears that give me a +2
yeah.
circumstance bonus.
Perfect. What else are we doing?
Hideaki is looking for not only if he can't find like folks that look like chime ringers, he's looking for folks that like, you know how like in some towns there are like town criers or folks trying to sell not newspapers but I guess you could say newspapers, that kind of thing, folks that are trying to get other people's attention and
Markers?
and then sort of and see if there's a crowd around that, try to either like listen into information that is being already shared and then maybe even further query from there.
Perfect. So I think that will be either like diplomacy or society as well.
Yep, and they're both the same.
Excellent.
All right. Arc 2 wants to kind of like ask around some people. And like the most basic way is just going to ask questions, get an answer, walk away. But if they've really seen any like griffins or heard of people like trading griffins or raising griffins, etc., etc. And he's not really like starting with anyone. He's just kind of walking around the town.
It's a good one. I'm trying to think what that would be. I think that's going to be diplomacy. I know that's not Ark's fave.
Not society.
No, because you're not trying to. I'll allow society. Yeah, I'll allow
I'll do
society.
diplomacy if you want me to. I don't care.
I'll show what I say.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take that diplomacy roll for you.
Excellent.
If you want.
So what are you doing, Arifey?
I know Ark is going around the route of if there's anybody that, we did lose Tao. If there's anybody that raises griffins, but she's asking more about if there's anybody in town who studies them.
Okay.
Just to kind of see if we can get more information about the uniqueness of it, and then any sort of knowledge base they would have about the strange behaviors of coming into a city. Kind of give us a direction.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So with that, I think that will be, that'll definitely be diplomacy. You're chatting up with people, trying to get them to tell you things. So here's, well, I'm going to keep all of this. If you could do me a favor, all of your rolls that you've done for this, just shoot that to me in chat so that I'll keep that in mind as we go a little bit more narrative with this. This is the first time that us as a group have, with the cameramen in tow, taken a walk into the city proper since, I think, oh my god, like episode 2 or 3 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So with the whole camera crew in tow.
Chickens!
Chickens, exactly. Let's talk about the city of Nantambu a little bit. It is, like I said, like afternoon. Folks are beginning to, some, that leave early, are walking out. The streets have parents and kids walking about. There is the beginning of the end of the day that is approaching as you exit from the Magaambya into the city proper. The energy is vibrant. The colors colorful. There are glass chimes and all sorts of decorations hanging on most doorsteps and doors that you walk by. There are shops that are open. There are people milling about. There are individuals chatting with one another. There are buskers and street musicians in most open crossroads and courtyards that seem to have kind of set up shop close to some food carts. And you can tell that there's quite a positive business relationship between the two as people get off of work and grab some snacks and hang out and listen to some of the music. There is, surprisingly, depending where most of you are from, I mean, comparatively Arc 2, I think you've never seen something like this, but any of you that have come from other villages or spaces or traveled your way through them here, this space is far more musical and artistic and creative than some spaces you have been in other comparatively. You pass by some temples as you walk through the streets. You pass by an area where there's a strip of glass worker shops. You can feel the heat emanating from those shops as you can kind of looking in the way it's sort of like opened out. You see the big furnaces and you see the hardworking, sweating individuals that are, blowing glass. You see one individual doing it like a small little trinket style thing that he's putting on a little show for from kids that are gathered around and looking at the beautiful colored glass. There is leather work and woodwork and so many crafts. Now, your experience in the city thus far, you have been in and out probably, so you would know that the way a lot of the city of Nantambu operate is with guilds. And because of the connection to how much magical source there is with the Magaambya itself, and I mean simply access to magic. So one of the oldest magical schools in all of Galarian is the Magaambya, so For a city surrounding the oldest magic school, they are rather familiar and comfortable with magic. So instead of lanterns and fire torches and oil lanterns that are about, you see magic lanterns. Oh, we lost a Maria. You see, how is the cams? Do we need to take a quick break?
Possibly. Cams are off.
All right. I will continue with a small description until we get to a good point, and then we can definitely hold off. Apologies, I can lean one way or the other. Where is it? This way? I don't know.
That is that way. That's your face.
Okay. Just listen to the dulcet sounds of my voice awkwardly explaining things. It's great. Technical difficulties. So, you see magical lanterns. You do notice some things that you've since learned as like bug repellent pieces. These bug repellents, you see, perhaps Arifey, you've been to the city quite a bit back and forth, correct?
Yeah, and I mean, I came out here with Teacher Ott at one point too.
Jealous.
Yeah, so something I will say you notice is like an uptick in the placement of bug repellent magic trinkets and things like that around different outposts.
I have a bug problem.
You, as kind of it's early dusk, like it's not yet dusk for sure, but you can tell, like, the air is cooling and everything. And you see dragonflies and hold on. There you pass this is everybody now, you pass like a open garden, like a sort of community garden where you see individuals working and gathering food for dinner. You pass some of these like public feeders that seem to be a couple of like tree pangolins and even a monkey sitting at in like public kind of feeders in that regard. And all of this seems to be working in glorious tandem. The energy of the city is vibrant and enjoyable. And as you walk through, you begin to look and listen for information that could be of use to you. Stopping by individuals. Who would you stop first, Arifey? What type of an artisan, a kid, a mom? Who are you stopping?
Sorry, my internet paused for a second there. That was terrifying. I think she will use this opportunity to go sell the teeth and the amber, and
Okay.
in the moment of commerce, try to also grab that info.
Perfect. Okay, so you're gonna go to one of the shops. Oh my gosh, what kind of you have teeth to sell? That'll be
well, they're
interesting.
gold teeth. So wait, are they gold teeth? I'm pretty sure they're gold teeth.
I believe they are.
I mean, I
I'm
assume
pretty
that's
sure
why
they are.
they're worth gold. Yeah, gold teeth. So I think her first instinct would be like, oh, amber and gold. I'm gonna go find like a jeweler to go sell
Excellent.
these at.
So you kind of at first it's hard to find. You rolled a 24 diplomacy, correct?
I did.
You at first not quite sure where to go. You stop by one of the glass blowers that are on break and ask for like a local jewelry store and get directed like a couple streets down. And again, you're going with everybody here, so as nice to be right back. All right, coming in.
You know, I may change my answer.
Okay.
I might go to Teacher Ott's wife.
I love this.
I can't
Yes.
remember her name because Star can't remember names very well.
I'm gonna go quickly look for it. I named her, I swear.
I have 3 notebooks in front of me right now, so it's like it's somewhere in here.
That's okay. This is why you should have a nice clear spot. This is to all the GMs out there that have all of the NPCs that you've named in your life.
Yep.
Niana?
There it is. Thank you.
See, See, and that's why you have these wonderful little like name tag things that you put into your notebooks.
Thank you, and also
Better
have
than me.
wonderful players that are better note takers than you are. So
So yes, I want to go talk to Niana.
okay, so all of you are Arifey's leading the way as you all head off to Niana, who has her own little storefront down below where Teacher Ott lives in an apartment above. And as you head there, she's there. She's kind of like in the back of the shop that you open the door, the little chimes ring as you come in, and seeing your face, she kind of smiles a big smile. Arifey, how are you doing? Oh, and everyone, Arc 2, Hideaki, and Taliatia. Yes?
This was the one I brought back that cake. That was Niana.
Welcome to What Do I Owe the Pleasure today.
Well, we are actually on a Magaambya thing. We're looking into the Griffons. That
Griffons?
came into the town the other day. The other week? Other week. It's been more time than I think. And I guess we are curious, do you know of anyone who's knowledgeable on Griffons at all?
I mean, I don't really have a use for griffins myself, so not really, but they're merchants. If you're looking for individuals that trade in animals, there is the bazaar that you could check. I'm sure there's someone there that would know. But Sharo Smith's Exports, I believe, is their. We call it the bazaar very often, but I think their official title is Sharo Smith Exports. It's down south, and I will reveal that location on your map so you all have an idea of where that is located. Let's do this. And they probably import and export animals. It's close down to where the one of the entrances, the main trading canals. But I can't say I've. Well, I've had to run one time an errand, and I did go to the Spotted Hyena. But they sell mostly mounts and things like that to get you places, not so much exotic animals. But perhaps they know more as well.
Place to start.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Is that it? Did you coming just for dinner, or I can get some things ready?
No, we are busy.
Oh, of course.
I'd like to buy us some treats.
Oh yes.
Something small.
The shop is something small. A brooch. Oh, hold on. And she runs to the back and says, "I made these today, actually." And she presents two very delicate, glass earrings that are very intricate and very beautiful. And beyond that, there is truly the whole shop. She's a glass maker herself. She has a lot of glass. There is some dishware glasses and things like that, wine glasses. That she also has a collection of jewelry and things like that. So
Arifey wants to buy something, but she also knows they have stuff to do. On top of that, actually, she might actually bring out the amber and ask if she has any use for it.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Yes, I would love to. Would you like a custom piece made from it?
Arifey is going to instantly look back at Tal since it's technically theirs.
Oh.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
My bad. I hadn't thought about it. How intricate? I'm kind of trying to look around. How intricate can you make it?
You see her kind of like proudly like flex her one, and you see now is a like metal arm that she has. I can do anything with this thing.
Oh.
That looks really cool.
Girls rocking a prosthesis? Hell yeah.
Could you make it into a bardo, a traveling wagon? If I gave you if I sketched something for you?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, you're providing the material, so that, and you want it just out of amber, or would you like it, it's tricky to work with amber, would you like it mixed materials with other things? And she will like discuss with you a little, like for a moment, about what you're envisioning.
Yeah.
And if you are looking to commission a piece where she is adding things to it, you'll actually end up paying a little bit for this custom piece. If you're looking to make it just out of the amber, she's more limited in what she can do. But even though, you know, she's basically giving you that discount of like, I'll do it for you because you're one of Ott's like students. But you're providing the material. But you can add some cost if you want to make it something special.
Okay. I'll save that for DM land. We can revisit that.
Perfect.
But yes, I'm going to take her up on this.
As the conversation dies down, Ark just kind of looks and says, "How did you get the metal arm?"
Oh, well, I lost my real arm, so better than nothing. And she smiles at you. And if you look, are you looking like you're expecting more information?
Yes.
Hideaki is too.
He'll even say, "How?"
Well, the annealer is well, working with glass is something I've done from a young age here in Nantambu, and it was something I fell in love with very early on. You know, when kids were still trying different apprenticeships and figuring out what they wanted to do. I was there in front of the annealer sweating, and I wouldn't take no or it's too dangerous for an answer sometimes, stubborn and all that, but I was a bit too young, carrying things a bit too heavy, and accidents happened. But here I am, still doing what I love.
Do you regret it?
It's a deep question. No, not really. It hurts sometimes, and I regret the silliness sometimes. You know, it's always one of those thoughts that I could have done better, or I could have been smarter, but then I remember all the things I can do now. And as you're looking at this, I will whoever's very interested in the arm can make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Can I instead make a crafting check?
Yes, you may.
I'm going to spend my hero point.
23
Ooh.
perception.
17.
23 perception. 17. What's it called? Waffles.
24 crafting.
Okay. Hideaki and Ark, you see in delicate etching both by her wrist and a little bit further down where it connects kind of right by her elbow, little runic etchings. And you can tell that there is some added magic imbued to her prosthetic arm. And when she says that she can do things she may not have been able to without it, you kind of understand exactly what she's talking about.
Is that the kind of like kind of points with his eyes like to the runes? Is that the secret behind why your cake was so good?
You know, that I blame my own mother for. No, family recipes. That's all me.
Cool. Thanks for that, by the way. It arrived, and he'll kind of look at Arifey at precisely the right time for me.
I'm very. Oh, hold on, just 1 second. And while you're like pointing to Tal, who's like still sketching like something out on like a piece of paper on one of the counters, she will, as you're finishing that up, and she'll like kind of head off to this door that you see like leads upstairs. And she's going like running upstairs real quick. And she just calls back from upstairs. Just occupy customers if there's someone. I'll be right back. And like runs off. And there's a little bit of clattering, and then a little bit later she comes down with like a pile of like 3, like in her 2 hands, like holding precariously 3 like wrapped leaf things. You're not quite sure what's inside, but they're leaf wrapped, and you can tell it's food. This is all I have right now, but if you're out and about in the city, take this with you.
I love this woman.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing. Thank you.
Happy to help. And thank you. Is there anything else you needed?
I don't think so, but rank check on dinner for sure.
You are all more than welcome. But do one better than Janatimo and give me notice, please.
Of course.
Oh, so don't just like show up willy-nilly and knock on the door?
You're always welcome. If it's an emergency, I'm here to help. But I simply am only joking. Janatimo, I don't know if you've... that man can eat.
We've had the pleasure.
Wonderful. Very well. This I will... I'll tell Takulu... Teacher Art to let you know, Tal, when it's ready. Or perhaps I'll have him bring it to you.
Also, how much are those earrings that she was showing me?
Oh, gosh. You want me to do money? I don't know money.
I do.
Hold on.
The GM pastime of what the fuck is cost money?
What is cost?
Fuck!
What does money cost?
What is the economy?
What is economy?
Fuck economy. I live in a society.
Supply and demand.
Those, she kind of looks at them and she smiles at you and says, 1 gold.
She will pay the 1 gold and I'm gonna buy those.
Okay.
Because I want them. Because you said earrings.
Sure. Then I appreciate it.
Do they do anything?
Those? No. I did not enchant them. I made them today. But I suppose they could be enchanted if you're looking for something like that. Would you like an earring?
No. Are you sure they're worth 1 gold if they don't do
with the stud
anything?
earring arc.
You do see her look a little offended at this.
They're very pretty.
I
Quite
do.
the fashion sense. I thought I would know.
They're
anything
very
about that.
delicate filigree, and I'd like to see a glass maker anywhere on this street do better.
I'll come back and try one day.
I've actually, now that I think about it, I've never thought about piercing my ears.
It's not that bad.
Tal with like 5.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It sucks for about a week if you sleep on it by accident.
A week? It
Yeah,
takes that
and-
long to heal?
Yeah, and if you have fur or hair like we do, you have to keep it really, really clean. Or it can get a
You
little
should just shave it.
gross.
Did you say shape
That
or
does
shave?
help.
Shave.
Shave the ear.
Yeah. Well, just
At
that
this
little
point,
part.
the chime at the door rings, and like you see a
Oh, we should
like a
probably
young
let
woman.
you do a thing.
Thank you. Of course. And it was wonderful seeing you all. And meeting, I think, some of you for the first time. And she like waves
nice
and she
to
kind of
meet you.
turns to the new customer. And heads off. So with newly acquired earrings. And Arifey, did you want to sell to her some of the other stuff?
Oh yeah, I should sell the teeth.
Yeah, the teeth she will happily sell to you with you because she can melt those down and use those, and she knows better than to ask where they came from because she is familiar with the
I'm
school.
sure Oz told her the story, so everybody gets 4 gold.
Nice.
Amazing.
As they walk out the door, if you wouldn't mind, Tal, or if anybody has a particular opinion on whether I should do this or not, and then maybe we can design some earrings or some looks. Because I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested. Perhaps. Maybe.
Do you plan to get an enchanted one?
That would be really cool.
I think you should not do it unless you're getting an enchanted one.
Why?
Why would you?
Because it might look cool. And I'm willing to risk temporary injury for perhaps something that looks cool. Besides, Tal's looks freaking awesome. Always has.
Just kind of shakes their head a little bit, and it just kind of
Jingle, jingle,
And
jingle.
also,
Jingles
that,
a
I mean, come on.
All right.
Plus, you can
so
always
you
take them out. They're not permanent.
It's not practical, it's just fun and individualistic.
I do love me some fun and individualism. That's not a word. That's maybe
That is a word, I just don't know if it's the right form of it.
I didn't put it in the right. Yep.
And then we
agreed.
start walking.
Yep. We've been walking the whole time. We've been walking the whole time.
It's like,
then we
"Move
conjugate our way down
forward!"
the street.
Conjugate.
Well, around the promenade.
Indeed.
So you have been told of Shirosmith Exports, which is a major trading bazaar for close down south to where the main canalway comes in for most of the trade. So Shirosmith Exports just is like a very large bazaar. You've heard of it as well. Like when she said that, you're like, so you've probably, at least one of you has heard about it somewhere else, and it is like a large bazaar. Mostly for like trading like goods, like import export, like woodworking, like things like that, but is bound to have other things as well, and perhaps indeed some animals come in and out of there as well. Additionally, I believe I just also said something else,
The
which was the spotted hyena.
The spotted hyena.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is mostly, she said, like a facility that is for mounts, and kind of eclectic mounts at that.
You know, you can ride griffins.
That's
I did.
kind of my thought
Possible.
process. Right?
It's true, technically. And then we have more roles to resolve as well. I'm kind of like I'm enjoying like doing them like
This
as
was
we
fun.
go.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
We're doing a
So-
tour of the city.
Where else are you headed? So I'm going to, as each as you head places, I will apply the role that is appropriate from one of y'all. So I want to. Where are you going next, though?
I guess since we have a lead, do we want to start making our way down to the bazaar or the trading bazaar?
So my question is where is the bazaar and where is the spotted hyena, and like what's the sort of the middle
Absolutely.
piece of that pie?
So I will say, I'm going to ping the map for a moment. We'll say that.
Oh, and where are we
Kulu
currently? Yep,
is
you already
right
know.
here. Okay. And please feel free to put a marker. I'll do that later.
I
Otherwise,
didn't see that. You may be on the gym layer.
indeed. Thank you. Okay. To the left of the city. Oh, sorry, to the left of the
Okay.
campus.
Got it.
And the trading bazaar is down to the south, where I've already revealed that. It's very, very to the south of the city on the outer ring. And the spotted hyena is actually far out of
Oh.
the city
Ah.
a little bit. Hold on here. Wrong.
Is it bad that my first thought is that how you spell aught? because I don't actually know.
It's
You ought to know.
I know.
Oh my
Goodbye.
God.
Goodbye forever. I'm never coming back. I'm going into the astral sea with Overnoser behind me. Bye.
Thank you for reminding me.
there you go.
You wanted puns, huh? You wanted puns,
So I believe everything should be for you all to see on the map now.
Excellent.
Cool.
So do we want to make our way then to the bazaar since it's closer and we can keep going
Sure.
out if we don't find anything?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So we'll start making our way.
Make it away.
Our way downtown.
Making my way.
Oh, here's face.
And he actually just says like,
Okay.
hopefully there's really good snacks on the way.
There will probably be really good snacks there.
We have really good snacks here.
Actually, I didn't. Yeah, I did. What do they smell like, Syrup?
It is a sweet smell. And they're sort of wrapped in this very wide leaf with some like twine that like wraps it up. If you open it up, you see a sort of like sweet rice treat that has like some sort of like condensed milk like thing. It's delicious and sweet and nothing healthy about it. It is
Excellent.
just carbs and sugar.
Yay! I got a high metabolism, baby. Let's go.
It is quite nice.
So it's like sweet and milky rice balls.
Krispie
Basically,
treats?
yes. I don't know how you call it, but it's a
I'm a-
thing.
Yes, no, it's the things like you described it. I'm like, I have had this. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, and I cannot remember what it's called either, unfortunately. You begin to head out, and now here's a fun question. Most of the travel done within the city is done either usually via the boats and the canals. So I would like to know if y'all are going on a boat or if you are going by foot.
Despite an erroneous one shot, Tal has never been on a boat.
Then we totally have to go on a boat.
It's true. And it's very easy. So like the way these are laid out is most places have a lot of different stairs that head downwards into the waterways in different various ways, very similar to the outskirts of the city of outside of the Magaambya itself. And so one of the like walkways close by Teacher Ott's house goes down, and there are like a few different flats that are there. They have like rentals, they have very like almost like taxis as well, like people like that are coming through and you could just pay them to go on down, and you do see one that like would fit the four of you easily enough.
Is it like a do we like row it like a canoe? What's the
Is
transportation
it piloted
type?
for us?
Is it
Right.
Yeah, this is
Yandere.
piloted for you. You see so many because it's more like otherwise you would own your own kind of a deal.
Sure.
Or you could also like basically it's piloted for you. So the way that it looks, I'm sorry, shallow drafted, flat bottomed boats transport cargo, while people usually ride in colorful canopied wherries. So this is a wherry. It has like a lovely little colorful canopy. It has some seating, and so it's a little gondola-esque. It's more like flat and wide. And then there is somebody that is rowing for you that you pay him directly. It's his boat.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I think Art's a little wary about it. But dang, nobody caught my pun.
Oh God!
I got you
Damn
distracted
it.
me with the Karina Ulawa picture,
Yeah.
and then
I was just sitting
Oh.
here. Oh,
Sorry,
I hear
buddy.
you.
But we hear you.
great. I was just sitting here dissecting my arc would be scared to go on the water. So there's that.
Ark is, puns aside, Ark is actually not going to go on the boat.
Okay. What do you do? Like, what happens when you go head down toward the boats?
Ark probably doesn't even head down towards the boat as everyone else starts heading down. He just kind of gives everyone a nod and says, I'll meet you there.
You sure? You don't want to? I mean, I'd rather walk with you.
You can if you wish.
Yeah, I'd like for us all to stay together, experience this together.
Sure. I will be walking there.
All right. We'll save the boats for another time.
Arifey, how do you respond the other way or just kind of continue on?
He's a little conflicted because Tal seemed excited to go on the boats.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we have a thing to do, so I don't know. She doesn't know if it's a good idea to split up or not.
Well, as you have this moment where Hideaki and Ark easily head out away from the dock to walk their way over, there's a moment of pause as Arifey looks back and is hesitant and a little unsure where they want to go, and as they await Tal's final vote and input on this, we will go ahead and take our break. Allow our wonderful Maria to try one more restart, and we'll be right back in just a little bit. We apologize for technical difficulties. They happen. It is not our fault. Weather is wonky. Internet providers are not within our control. But we're here, and we're glad we're here, and we're glad you're here. So with that, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back very shortly.
Yeah.
Butts indeed. So here's the lowdown. Please know that it is not an easy decision for me to leave you on such a cliffhanger tonight.
Boats!
The boats or not the boats. However, I come bearing complicated news. Bad news and good news at the same time. Just like the boats. No. Y'all... I tried. I was like, I can tie this in. I cannot tie this in. That's okay. Y'all, we are actually going to end early tonight. Through no fault of anybody's. But you know, maybe that one internet provider that one person, like that, like purposely fucked up the internet in like that one place. That is screw them. But everybody else, I love you all. In realism, what's the word? In seriousness.
In all seriousness.
Mercury is in the Gatorade, and whatever.
Jesus.
But we prioritize quality over anything here. We want to tell good quality stories together. We want it to be enjoyable to y'all who are watching on video on YouTube, as well as everybody listening on the podcast. So we will have a shorter session. To those that are podcast listeners, you are going to have just the one episode this time around, and the YouTube will be just a little bit shorter, and that's a-okay. But we'll be back for sure. And meanwhile, you will all have to contemplate, will they or won't they take the votes? What will happen?
We find our own cliffhangers. We don't need you. We don't need you, Jim Badass. We do it ourselves.
Fine, I'll see myself out.
No, come back.